A lot of unexpected wins this season. That's what I'm seeing right here from Mike Lee. A lot of unexpected wins this weekend. Not for some people. not for some of us. This was all expected. I mean, oh, what's up, Tom? How you doing? I mean, did I think that I made the promise at the end of this morning stream that if the Giants won, that I would come back on tonight and do a stream. I went out and during the stream today, I predicted the Giants were going to win 21-17. And you know what? Did I look good? Did I look bad? Yeah, it was all good. But you know what? You take the good, you take the bad. It was a painful performance to watch Daniel Jones at times. The highlight of my day today, outside of the Giants win, was Brian Daboll going to the sidelines and yelling at Daniel Jones after that bad interception, screaming at him. That was the highlight. That was one of the highlights of my day. But you gotta give all the credit in the world to Saquon Barkley. Yeah, Tony, but I'll email you back. I just haven't been to my work computer yet. You have to give all the credit in the world to Saquon. 100%. There's no doubt about what he did. Without Barkley, we do not win this game. And without Barkley, we do not even come close to winning this game. And honestly, I said this during the stream this morning that I only picked the Giants 21-17 because I felt that Tennessee, without playing any of their starters throughout the entire preseason, was going to come out rusty. That they were going to come out and they were going to have to knock some of the rest off. And if you take a look at the way this game was playing out, as the game progressed and now as they got a little bit more tired, the rust actually seemed to grow. It seemed to get a little bit more heavy for them because of the fact that it was crazy. The fact that just the way they ran, Barkley ran that ball. T-Brad says it best. Barkley ran the ball like a beast. He ran it like 100% ran it like a beast. He ran it like he did back when he was a rookie. He found the opening. He found the holes. He moved forward. He went north and south. He didn't dance. He didn't go east and west. He attacked what he had to attack, and he just kept going on, and he kept going forward. And that's what you need to do when you're Saquon Barkley. And I don't even look. I got Barkley on the back already. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do to be competitive. And I think it's great that he was able to do these things, that he was able to attack, that he was able to turn back the clock. Because without him, we're not winning this game. And and if we want to be 100% honest, because some people don't like honesty. If we want to be 100% honest about this, if it wasn't for a lot of the mistakes that the Titans made, we wouldn't have won this game. And there was some calls that didn't get made in reference to some of the holdings, some of the pass interferences that we had. But you know what? You got to give credit to Daboll. Because Daboll went out there and Daboll said, well, after we scored, I'm going for the win. He was Ron Rivera. Now, remember, Ron Rivera did the same thing with the Giants. He pushed all of his chips in the middle of the table, and we saw how that worked out. So Daboll would have been this right now. He's going down on the lore of Giants history as one of the gutsiest plays that a first-time head coach has ever made. But if it went the opposite way, we would be skewing him right now. So you know what? So that's why I said we were lucky to win this. I give all the credit to the coaching staff. I give all the credit to the coaching staff. What said? Because I sat there and I said, and I think this is funny, Ron. The minute they took the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands, the offense got better. I said the same thing. That I was watching the game with my wife, like I always do, and we always joke that back in the day, when the Giants ran Kevin Gilbright's offense. Kevin Gilbright, always on like 3rd and 17, always ran the draw. And we would sit there and scream at the TV, don't run the draw, don't run the draw. He ran the draw. Today was different. Today we were sitting there going, run the draw, run it. I even said we had a group chat going on with T. Brad and James Williams, and we had a group chat going on, text going chat, and I laughed because I said at one point I never want to see the Giants throw the ball again. I want to see them run that ball like there is no tomorrow, because you know what? That's how they were going to win this game, and that's how they were going to move forward. I mean, it's like you know what they say. I always think of a win is a win, and these are usually the games that we used to lose. And Daniel Jones did everything he could to lose this game. People will say, well, he threw for two touchdowns. I still would have given Barkley. Barkley carried the mail to the one. I'm still giving the ball to Barkley. Jones with an interception, a bad fumble, 5 sacks. I love it because I'm not a big fan of Mark Sanchez. When Mark Sanchez called the game, and you're like a D game when when the butt fumble's calling your game. But he pointed out on numerous occasions that Daniel Jones had multiple receivers open that he just didn't see them, or he just did not throw the ball. So when you go 17 for 21 for 188 and not only 9 yards, 9 yards or attempts, that's why does this keep coming up? I don't know why the shit keeps coming up, but that's just not how you play the game. And you have to be. And one of the things that we need to point out exclusively is the fact that they pointed out in the comments, the rush never got to Tannehill. The rush never got to him. We are just lucky. And I said this before. This is going to be one of the few games that the Giants are going to have a push matchup against the wide receivers. And I mentioned that because the fact that I didn't like the wide receiving core outside of after you got Robert Woods, but it was a push. It's going to be a little different next week. It's going to be a little different against Baker Mayfield and Christian McCaffrey. So, but you know what? OGR said it best. A win is a win. I'm going to take it either way. I don't care. I'm going to take it either way. You got to give Saquon. Here's Saquon Barkley. It's Saquon Barkley. It's all. What's up, y'all? It's a win. It was a good win. It was a great win. I got T-Brad on because T-Brad was on the chat today. So we got to make sure we drop T-Brad in here for a minute. I'm going to drop into the link. Mr. Barkley saying, what's up, y'all? Yes, sir. It was a win. And that's all that matters. And Tom says, should we try to make the playoffs with Tyrod? No, because there was so many other bad things that happened in this game. This was a very entertaining game to watch, a very entertaining game, but it was a rusty team against an undersized, undermanned team by the Giants. But it's a win. I'm not talking playoffs. Playoffs. We're not talking playoffs just yet. What's this? What's this over here? I see. Oh, can I show this? Wait, hold on. Oh, I can't show it. I can't. I didn't update my browser. Oh God, we gotta drop him in. It's the T-Brad. It's the T-Bradosaurus.
What's going on, people? What's going on? I was lost. I thought we were gonna lose the game today. 27-13. My prediction was looking like it was right, and then we turned around and started winning. We started winning, and then we go for 2. We don't play it safe. I don't even know who this team is.
I don't know either, but you know what? There's a guy that I've heard of that said 21-17 Giants.
Yeah.
I think we need to say all hail the cult leader.
That is the cult leader.
The all omnipotent, the all knowing.
That is why you are the cult leader. If they do this a few more times, I will have a haircut, you will have a new hairdo, and someone will have a new tattoo.
They're not having it.
Hey, let's go crazy. Let's go all in.
I would love to go crazy, go all in, but this was the luck of the Irish. We had a box of Lucky Charms somewhere, some rabbit foot somewhere. The Titans shooting themselves in the foot multiple times on holding penalties. And let's be honest, a lot of those penalties were iffy at best.
And I'll tell you one thing, when they set up for a field goal, usually I'm like, oh man, they're gonna win with a field goal. I was like, everyone's missing field goals today. We got a chance.
Yeah, we had a shot. Corey Lewis has to point out it was 21-20. I'm sorry I was off by 3 points.
Well, he actually got one of the scores correct, and that was the winning score. That's pretty damn good.
And that was the winning. I mean, you, myself, and James were texting each other back and forward. Daniel Jones's performance. And I don't want to put a downer on. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but we got to talk about it. We got to talk about we got to talk about the guy that tried to give the game away, Mr. 17 for 21 from 188 and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception and a fumble.
Yes.
I mean, the butt fumble, the butt fumble Sanchez pointed out on numerous occasions. There was wide receivers open downfield, and he even pointed out the fact that there was wide receivers wide open downfield, and Daniel Jones did not throw the ball. I said the highlight of the game to me was when Dable went on the sidelines and chewed Daniel Jones out, because I don't think that ever happens in his career here.
I enjoyed that as well. Not that, you don't want to see one person tear somebody down, but it's accountability. You're playing quarterback in the NFL. You got to put your big boy pants on. You're wearing a belt. You got big boy pants on.
You got your big boy pants on.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Dable held him accountable. I just enjoyed the fact that it wasn't all his fault. Like, I really got to see a game, and it wasn't all Daniel Jones' fault. But he did make some mistakes. He played gutsy, that 4-for-1, that 2-point conversion, some gutsy clutch plays. So I got to give him that credit. I'll give him an overall.
Well, you got to give the 2-point conversion credit to Barkley. And honestly, Barkley carried the mail down to the 1, and it was kind of reminiscent of Seattle in the Super Bowl to me. You got Marshawn Lynch. Why don't you just pop it in the end zone with Marshawn? That's what that's the first thing that ran to my brain when I saw him throw the ball.
But that's the formula that we're going to need to win. We're going to need that formula to win. We can't rely on Daniel Jones to open up the game for Barkley. We need Barkley to open up the game for Jones.
Right. And I think anyone that watched the game will probably tell you it's self-evident. After this performance, and we're not picking on Dan Jones because it was a win, but after this performance, it just doesn't seem to me that. I mean, there seems to be a reason why the Shane went and started scouting quarterbacks before the season even started.
Right. Yeah, Daniel Jones looked like a good backup. I mean, but he looked better than he looked last year, and I give a lot of that to coaching, but I didn't see the next Josh Allen.
No, even when he ran the play, you were always concerned if he was going to get up.
Well, I will take one victory shot.
Hold on. I gotta hold on before. Let me. All right.
There we go.
I'm going straight for the winner's bottle.
There we go. Ready? I got some skill.
This is for the Giants. This is for everyone that. This is just for the Giants.
Hey, to be undefeated and above 500 for the first time in 4 years.
I love it. Cheers. I love it. I love it. Well, now we can end the stream. If there was something that
I didn't see that. My bad. I got a whole family get together going.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you on. I just wanted you to jump on.
I got time for the family.
But if outside of Daniel Jones and outside of Saquon Barkley, what did you like about what happened today, and what did you kind of shake your head and kind of dislike a little bit?
To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised at the defense. I mean, they've been, but they didn't break. But then some of it was Tennessee's mistakes as well.
Tennessee was shooting themselves in the foot quite a bit.
Yeah. But and the only reason I say I was impressed with them because our best 2 edge rushers weren't there. But the main thing that was impressive was Barkley. You can't talk about that game without talking about it. He was just fighting for yards. Like the one time they couldn't even take him down. They just picked him up. It's like, look, we can't take you down, but we can pick you up and move you back over here. He played good. Things I didn't like. Injury.
My thing is this: you run the ball 32 times for 238 yards for 7.1 yards, 7.4 yards a carry. You should win.
Yes.
And you only you only complete 17 passes for 188. So if you're running for 238, I mean, you lose. I think I would have been more shocked about that. But what didn't you like? What did you see that? Because there was, honestly, and I'm not going to get into it tonight because there was a ton of stuff that was bad.
Right.
And I think, like I said, this is a win. And you know what? At the end of the day, I've said it a million times. When you go to the win-loss column on the, on your record, on your stat sheet, they don't say Giants won this one, but it was a bad win.
But yeah, exactly. I would hit, like, just to say it and keep it simple, KG's stat line. That when you put you talk about money not well spent, that stat line is terrible.
Well, he was 2 catches for 22 yards, but he was only targeted twice. So he's got 100% catch ratio.
At what pay ratio?
Look at me. I'm Mr. Positive. You're now Mr. Negativity. I'm Mr. Positive.
How much is that? Is that like 30 million a catch?
It's like 30 million a catch. I think it's like 32.4 million a catch.
But you know what? Kadarius Toney, when he did get the ball, he really did play hard. I did. Kadarius Toney did play hard when he got the ball in his hands.
My thing is, how many catches did Kadarius Toney have?
I think 1 catch, 1 run.
Nope, he had no catches, and he had 2 runs.
Okay.
And honestly, I laughed.
Was a shovel pass.
I that was the Saquon.
Oh, okay.
And I laughed because he had the almighty David Sills open in the end zone when he didn't throw the ball.
You know what though? I think the other safety was over the top.
No,
I think that's why I didn't throw it.
No, they even showed it. They had even more. Even the butt fumble said he is wide open.
Well, that's why he plays wide receiver.
That's why he's a wide receiver. That's why he's a wide receiver. So I mean, but like I said, there's no negativity today. I am concerned about Wan'Dale Robinson. He did hurt his knee.
Any word?
No, there's no word yet. And I tried to point out to people all this week that he needs to learn how to protect himself on the field. And if you watch the play that he got hurt on, he didn't see the defender behind him. And this has to go with what I talk about in reference to his size and his awareness, because there's certain things you can get away with at Kentucky that you're not going to get away with in the NFL. And I think he was kind of like Thibodeau when he had to learn to, when he's going to learn how to get around the chop block. Wan'Dale's got to kind of do the same thing.
Right. And you know what? There was somebody I know when we were having draft talk. I think it was the cult leader. Did say something about Wan'Dale Robinson's size. Did say something about injury and kind of predicted this possible scenario happening.
I did predict this could happen in the first. You know what the worst was? I predicted it could happen in the first game.
And that's why you're the cult leader.
I actually forgot.
You're not laughing at this happening. You're just laughing at the probability that it happened, and you said this could happen. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
It was funny because I forgot all about that. That was during the draft. And I basically said because of his size, if he does not learn how to protect himself on the field, he's not going to get through his first game.
Yep. I do remember that. I remember it well.
I forgot all about that. OG over the super chat says everyone's 5'8" wide receiver. Richie James had a solid game. Richie James did have a solid game today.
Yes. One big drop, but
one big drop. He worked well in the return game. He averaged 5 returns for 12.4 yards on the punt returns. He some questionable decisions on one of the punt returns where he went backwards. But but like I said, it is what it is. It's a win. So if outside of Saquon Barkley, if you had to give a game ball, who you giving the game ball to?
Ooh. I'm going to give the game ball to the coach. And I'm going to tell you why. I've seen a team, and this is just because of what we dealt with. I've seen a team that believed.
Right.
and the way they played and the way they ran and the way they picked each other up, I seen a team that believed. When they played the game through the bad plays, through the good play, because the old Giants team, that first when we got that muff, then we got
the T-Brad breaking up here.
Oh no, don't tell me that. But the coach, I think the coach, we had a team of people that believed, and that's it. That's who I think deserved the other game ball, the coach. Uh-oh. You still hear me? Am I there?
T-Brad, we lost. We're losing.
Uh-oh.
We're losing you. We can't hear you. Well, we're going to give the ball to the coach. I'm going to give the ball to Randy Bullock. My friend, you sound like you're in a wind tunnel or playing an accordion. Well, we lost him here. We're gonna remove T-Brad for a second while he lost. Wait, we got another one drop. You know what? One drops in, one drops out. It's doing it. Al, we gotta wait for the T-Brad to come back. What's going on, Mr. Al?
We got.
Is there anything exciting happening? Any news happening that we don't know about? Does everyone got technical issues but me?
I think so. You're freezing up.
Buffering. All right, we're gonna wait till we see. We're gonna wait to see Big L get gigantic move because he's actually frozen. We're gonna run through some of these chats. Richie James was balling on here. We got to give it to the wink. You got to give it to the O line. We got people saying Dable all day. We're gonna get Big Al, if you can dial back in, that'd be great. We give it to Dable. Mr. Robert says, but Tim. One guy said Wandale was. You're the one with the tech. I don't have no technical issues. Wandale. Whoops. Now I'm frozen. Oh, hold on. Now I'm freezing. I'm like, you know what? It's the internet. We're gonna switch to our. This helps out a little bit here. We're gonna switch to the secondary network. We have more than one network. Yes, guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. We switched to the secondary network here. We're going to add the T-Brad. We're going to add the Big L. We seems like we're all having technical difficulties because my internet was running slow as well.
That's what happens when the Giants win. We get all these technical difficulties, and we haven't done this in a while. You know what I
mean? We don't know what else to do.
Yeah, we haven't done it in 5 years.
We haven't done this in 5 years. And L, I want to ask you here. I asked T-Brad the same question. Who is your outside of Saquon Barkley? Who's your MVP? Who's the MVP? Who do you give a game ball to?
Ooh. You know what? To be honest with you, I felt like my man Robinson held his own. He didn't look like he was like out of place. I was pleasantly shocked by the way, especially how we've been ripping him since training camp. I think, he's growing into his own. So I'm going to give Robinson some love. And the other guy is Evan Neal, too. I like how he played, too.
Really? Evan Neal did he gave up a sack. He got moved around the pot a little bit, but for a rookie in his first game of the season, he stood the test.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I think that now if we all want to get excited, we all want to jump up and down, we all want to say that this is going to lead to 17-0. But I think the Super Bowl. Not only we're going to win the Super Bowl, we're going to win the World Series. But I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to go over the edge with this. And you had a lot of people who really, as game time got closer, you can see it on social media, they were all saying, well, this is going to be bad. This is going to be a bad season, but we just have to enjoy it. This is going to be bad. Everyone kind of bailed on the team. There was a large segment of people that were talking up the Giants for, a couple of weeks. All of a sudden we get ready to game time. They're saying, well, you know what? We just need to enjoy the season because it's going to be bad. So that's all. But, there was some of us that stood tall before the man and said, 21-17 G-Men because of the fact that it's one game. It's a microcosm in time. So my question that we're going to start with T-Brad. We got the Panthers coming up next week at home. Baker Mayfield, Christian McCaffrey. You got Matt Rule. You got Matt Rule coming into the stadium after how he did the Giants dirty. What's your early prediction for that game?
Wow. It depends on if Wan'Dale Robinson is back or not. But I think we can actually beat the Panthers. Yeah, let's go 24-21 Giants.
24-21 Giants. Big L.
I'm not gonna mess up the juju.
You're not gonna mess them up. Then you should have bet against them. Big L. What do we got here? What do you got? Carolina rolling in.
I think they lost, right? Didn't they lose to Cleveland?
They lost to Cleveland. They lost a nail biter.
Last second, yeah.
Last second nail biter to Cleveland.
That means
a lot of those 1:00 games.
Yeah, a lot of those 1:00 games are crazy.
It's funny because I haven't seen so many close scores, and not only that, all these tied scores that went into overtime or stay tied. That was crazy. That means there's a lot of competitiveness. It's like this league is not, everybody's talking about how talented some of these rosters are. Either they're just getting into the swing of things, or they're just is that competitive, right, within every roster.
See, I'm actually going to go the opposite. I think a lot of teams did not play their starters during preseason. Right. And I've been preaching this now for, I don't know, a month or two, that I think the teams that don't play their starters are going to be the ones that have trouble, that they're going to be the guys that have issues when the first game rolls around, because it's almost like the fourth game of the preseason.
Yeah,
you did point that out in your prediction this morning.
I did point that out. The cult leader did point that out. But I think that it would had to be. You know what's funny? I think it'll change. I think the balance will go back. But what's your prediction, Al? What are you saying for Sunday? I'm already want Sunday's prediction because this wins in the books. I'm ready for 2-0.
I'm gonna say 27-17 Giants.
27-17 Giants. I'm going to give you my score. My score is not till next week. I'm not going to tell you what my score is. I don't even know what the hell my score is yet. I never know till I say. We got Saeed in the chat saying what's going on. Big Giant win. I mean, T-Brad, I know we joked about this on the stream a lot, and just through the last week. I mean, but the way, it's not that the Giants won, it was the way that they won. It was rolling the dice. It was pushing the chips into the middle of the table.
They hung around. Did you ever fathom that this could be how this was going to end?
No, because the last few Giant regimes, we kind of folded in those moments. Like, even though the Giants had crappy records, there was at least 3 games on each year. There was at least like 3 games that we could have won, and you could just see we just folded. So I was happy to see that we weren't folding. So when I watched the game, I was like, nah, we're probably going to lose, especially when we threw that interception. I was like, yep, there was our chance. And then we came back. I said, this is a different team. Like, Saquon was running like with purpose. He wasn't just a player of that game.
Somebody's getting nice.
A player of the week.
Somebody's getting nice.
Put it on ice.
That ain't me. Yeah, but yes.
Well, I know who it is.
He might be the player of the week.
I mean, Big L, that interception in the end zone, he threw to the wrong shoulder in Saquon Barkley in that end, and that bad pick. He threw to the inside. He should have thrown to the outside. Logic would have had it that you're going to throw to the other side of where the defensive back is. Did you?
That he stared down Barkley before the play even started.
Yes, he did. Do you think a 4th-year quarterback would still be making? Now you're wearing an Eli Manning jersey, and Eli Manning used to make head scratchers. He used to make head scratchers all the time. Even going into year 12, he would do it. But did you ever think you would see a quarterback who we just got a gift with the muffed punt, basically give it back a couple plays later.
Well, that's that, and then you saw they shoot his behind right after that play because he came in, pulled them off. Like, bro, I'm not here to give you. You're not here on scholarship. Days are done.
Did he get one of those at Duke?
Probably not. Academic.
I think it was academic. I like Saeed said.
We're saying that like it's a bad thing.
I know. Saeed said didn't throw to the wrong shoulder. He should never have thrown it there in the first place, which I agree with. Yes, but
after looking them down the whole field. He looked them the whole field. It's like, okay, we see where you're going.
If Daniel Jones continues to play as he did today, and the Giants are competitive in games, and you saw what Dable did to him on the sidelines, and like I said, we don't advocate chewing anyone out. I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm evil. But I mean, do you think at that point in time there will be a quick hook? If we continue to be competitive and we're winning in spite of Daniel Jones.
I told you before, and I'll say it again. To me, they're giving Jones 7 weeks, 7-8 weeks. If by 7-8 weeks he has not understood the whole picture, the whole game plan, the whole why we do this, why you, I think it's time to bring in on Tyrod. Because at the end of the day, it's pretty much telling DJ, you're not our quarterback.
Yeah. T-Brad, same question.
Daniel Jones cannot play like this and expect to stay. I think Daniel Jones has to play better than this. He has to play. I mean, this is better than what I expected, which shows me my level of expectation. So
188.
Yeah.
Can't get much lower.
Yeah. So it shows you, to me, he's better than where I thought he was, but still not where he needs to be. And I need him to be where he needs to be, or going in that direction. Now, if he can steadily improve, because you see the talent. You see, he can run the ball. You see he's got an arm, but he's just got to put it all. He can't just put it all together, and that's the problem right now. He can't put all of his game together.
Yeah, just the sum of the parts just don't add up.
Yeah, he got to learn how to slide too.
We got. Yeah, he's gonna get himself killed too. Mr. Authentic says, "Nah, man, it's not time for Tyra. Yet the kid has a 115 passer rating. He missed some open windows. Takeover was not the reason. He also was we don't want a game manager. We don't want a game manager.
And there was some drops.
There was some drops, but he also, to Mark Sanchez's point, missed guys that were checked down when he had guys wide open down the field.
Open. Yeah, you got to make the big play in the NFL now.
I mean, it's we won in spite of Daniel Jones, and anyway, nobody can tell me any different. If Saquon Barkley does not run,
that fumble that he gave up, he needs to move up. He needs to sense it. He needs to
climb the ladder in the pocket.
He needs to start moving. He can't get all happy in there and start just like flailing away like he needs to
be fair though, that was a quick sack. Like that was MVP to move up on that play, because he just got back as soon as because he was looking at 1-2, back up 1-2 and throw, and maybe he should have took one step and threw, because as soon as he got his arm back, dude was there.
Doesn't matter in the NFL. You have to hold on to the ball.
Exactly.
Well, can I say something though? And I'm going to make a true confession here. I don't want to get too emotional. This is a true confession.
True stories.
I am just as hard on Daniel Jones and my analysis of Daniel Jones as I was of Eli Manning early in his career. It wasn't until Eli beat Denver in like the last second of the game that I say, okay, he looks like the guy. Daniel Jones he made some head scratches. I'm not Daniel Jones. Eli Manning. He made some head.
He made head scratches doing in the year 12.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, I really wasn't a believer until like at first I wasn't a believer that he was even going to be the guy until we beat Denver like late last play of the game. I said, okay, I see some toughness here. And again, it was like Eli Manning hadn't put it all together. The certain talents were there, but they just weren't all clicking. And if Daniel Jones could click, then maybe we're telling another story. But I doubt we'll see that again.
AB, the staunch Daniel Jones defender, the fumble was on the O-line. Come on, guys. If he held his arm, they would have snapped it. I know. It was on the O-line. The sun was in his eyes. The grass was cut at 2 3/4 inches instead of 2 4/10 inches. Yeah, it's never Daniel Jones' fault. It never is. You know, we don't.
What was the wind chill factor?
The wind chill factor was 18 carries for 164 yards. 99.1 yards a carry. When you rush 32 times for 238 and throw 17 for 188, your quarterback didn't win you the game.
The other thing though is that if we want to talk about Eli made those stupid mistakes in quarter number 1, 2, and 3.
When it was the fourth quarter and it was good when it was game time
and the game was on the line.
Yeah,
he won the game.
I really want people, like, if you got time in your busy schedules, please watch that game and just look how Saquon ran the ball, like, with purpose, quick cuts up the field, aggressive.
He didn't hesitate.
Yes. When he fumbled the ball, I'm like, oh no, not this shit again.
Oh, when he knocked it out. when he knocked it out, I thought the same thing. I think I was texting you back there at that time.
Yeah. And I'm on a work call. I'm on a Zoom call, so I got my face. So I'm like trying not to show any emotion, and I'm like, my face is just like, not this shit again. And then it goes out of bounds. I'm like, thank
you, Lord.
I know that's what I was like.
Luck is a part of skill.
That, you know what, it really is. And you know what, Eli had some terrible luck. Eli, I've said it a million times. He's one of the few quarterbacks that I've ever seen in the league that if the ball got tipped up, you automatically knew it was going to get intercepted.
Yeah,
there was no doubt in your mind. Oh, that's an interception.
Yeah, and it was going the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're probably going to have a lot of people now, guys, talking about. And there was a question I just saw. What does this do to the division now? What does this do to the EST East? Dallas is playing right now. To me, it doesn't do anything in the NFC East. It's one game. we get into like 3 games that I'm okay. 4 games I'm feeling even better. 5 we're good, but it's one game. This is actually a good thing because I did mention the Shepherds was underthrown. Saquon is back. Dable definitely earned his stripes. The lollipop throw to Shepard on the 66-yarder. Yeah. If we want to be honest, that was well under. If you hit him in stride,
and that DB he didn't know where that ball was.
He was looking at the quarterback. You got to give Daniel Jones credit for the fact that he saw that he was looking at the quarterback, that he was staring at the quarterback himself. So Daniel Jones was smart enough to see, okay, his eyes are on me, not Sterling Shepard.
And then Shep cut it in, which the DB was going backwards, and he was totally discombobulated. He broke the tackle.
So you got to eat. Okay, T. Brad, Darius Slayton, a healthy scratch for David Sills. Any thoughts? Yeah, no, it was. He really was.
Yeah. I saw him on the sideline.
He was a healthy scratch for David Sills.
For that.
I mean, is there anything in your mind about that?
The best players play. I guess the best players.
The best players play. David Sills' stat line: 0 for 0 for 0 for 0, and 0 special teams tackles.
He had a nice block though.
He did have a nice block. You gotta give him credit where credit is due.
He was the emotional support that guided the victory.
He's emotional. He's like an emotional support dog. At the end of the day, guys, we've said this before. A win is a win. I'm gonna let you guys
take it.
I'm gonna let you guys drop off because I want to read through some of these chats because I'm gonna cut out early tonight because I got to get up early. But T-Brad, appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you putting up with James and I during all the chats and big
but the game was listen. Once I stopped texting, we took off.
We took off.
Remember, there's a point I stopped texting.
You
I
did.
didn't
You and
text you
James.
back. I did not text you back until we win. I said I won the game for us because as soon as I stopped texting, the mojo changed.
Well, actually, I think the cult leader won the game by predicting the win.
That's bad juju.
Of 21. There you go.
21-17. And everyone thought I was crazy.
Hey, it was 20-13. I was like, oh, Jesus, if they score another one, maybe I shouldn't have said it and I predicted it.
Well, my wife said the same thing. She goes, didn't you say the score was 21-17? I was like, yeah. And I looked at the score and I was like, oh, shit. And now, but the question is, I forgot about this. Do I really have to wear the cape on Sunday?
Why not?
Because I predicted that. I said if I predicted the score and the Giants won, that I would wear my Giants cape and run around the parking lot on Sunday.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
All right,
that's good.
Hey.
We got one win.
I got one win with now I can never get rid of the cape, and now I have to wear a Malik Willis jersey every time the Giants play.
Yeah, you got to talk trash when you're at the top because you don't know how long you're going to be there.
I'm gonna be here for a week.
Yes, right.
So,
That's
at least I'm honest about it. One day I'm gonna be here for. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys dropping in. Like I said, I'm gonna run through some of these questions and some of these things real quick. Good win. We'll do a stream sometime this week. Hope you guys can both make it.
All right, take care, brother.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night. All right, let's run through some of these comments. We got let's see here. Giants are a 10-win team at best, and no, they're still a 4-win team. Slayton is a healthy scratch. KD watched most of the game. He did, but he got in a couple good plays. J-Fed says best play of the game was Bullock's missed field goal. That's why I gave Bullock the game ball for us. Herschel says, notwithstanding today's win, let's make no mistake, this is a rebuild, and Shane will be drafting his guy in 2023 as our next franchise quarterback on the team. You're right, 100%. There's no way around that. Bullock is the GOAT for miss. I already gave, like I said, we did a game ball. I gave it to Bullock. I gave my game ball to Bullock. It says, I feel Fat Bullock was going to miss that field goal. I couldn't watch. I literally couldn't watch. I was the game was like 15 seconds behind ESPN in reference to the ESPN website. So I was just refreshing the website to see what would happen. Okay, Knockout says, Barkley did this all the time today. DJ did okay. I give him some credit. You got to give everyone credit. They won. And you got to give Tennessee Titans a lot of credit too, because without them, some of the bonehead plays they made, we wouldn't be winning there. Richie James looked pretty good. He did. But if we're going to be if we're relying on Richie James to be our number one receiving option, that we need to address a little bit. But you know what? And like I said earlier today, the simple fact is this, and I said this a million times, that the Giants, this will be one of the true few times that the Giants secondary will have a push in reference to going up another team's wide receiving core. Because of the fact that I said this a million times, you have Robert Woods, you have the rookies. I thought this was a matchup that favored the Giants in reference, not favored, but it was an even. It was a dead even matchup. We're not going to get a lot of these. We're not going to get a lot of those dead even matchups either. But it's one of those things that at the end of the day, you have to look at games in reference to matchups. Thoughts on thoughts on defense. The defense didn't get any pass rush whatsoever. Tannehill at points and times had all day to throw. We had five quarterback hits and 1 sack. Fox had sack. You can't fully judge the defense till you get Azeez Ojulari back and until you get Kayvon Thibodeau back, because the line itself. I mean, you look at the stats for Derrick Henry. It was 21 for 82 for 3.9, 18 was carries. He probably had another 40 yards brought back because of penalties. So, you know what, like I said, and at the end and I've said this a million times, at the end of the day, when you look at the stat sheet, when you look at the win-loss column, it does not say New York Giants 1-0, Tennessee should have won. It doesn't say that. All it says is New York Giants 1-0. We got Big Blue. What is Big Blue right here? It says, like you said, Tim, let's be competitive. Way different Yeah, I've said it before. I want to be. I want a competitive team, not just a team that shows up, and that's what we got today. That's what we got, and you have to look at it at the end of the day that way. But at the end of the defense, we'll have a better judge of the defense when we get the whole of the pieces back, and we can see, because I was not impressed with the offensive line. Tate Crowder had the one big hit on Derrick Henry, and actually Derrick Henry, who hadn't played much in the last, going into last year because the injury, was running too upright, and he quickly adjusted that, and his yards per carry went up to, I think, 5.5 yards in the second half. So, I mean, it's one of those things that it is what it is. You know what? You get wins. You get wins that way. Should we cut Darnay Holmes already? No, Darnay Holmes, I laugh, because Darnay Holmes was the darling of training camp. Everybody loved Darnay Holmes. Darnay Holmes got the Elvis Patterson treatment today. He got toasted. And he got toasted a bunch of times. So, but it's one game. It's one game. I love it. Just imagine if Dexter Lawrence had a false start again. What's funny? ECK Sports put that in the chat. That, Dexter Lawrence had a false start. And I jokingly said that to him. I said, yeah. I was like, it was a joke. I didn't even notice Kenny G was on the field. Kenny G was on the field. He had 2 catches for 22 yards. Like I said, he was 2 for 2 and he had 1 for 15. We didn't throw much. And honestly, with this offense, I'm not putting the ball in Daniel Jones's hand. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm good. The engine that's going to run this team is going to be Saquon Barkley. It's going to be like a couple years back with Carolina, with McCaffrey. You got to just run the ball, play good defense, and that's it. Wolfie HD says, it scares me that Richie James played over Tony D. Hopefully the entertainment was right about the theory. Jones missed preseason and Dable didn't want to throw him into the fire. No, he played. I think Richie James started today because Richie James is the better of the two options right now. He's the better. You know what they always say? You're there to win games. And if you cannot throw a player that is like one of the dumbest comments I think I've ever seen now. Not you, Wolfie. I'm just saying, but you are there to win games. You don't if someone gives you a competitive advantage to win, I don't care if they've missed 6 months. They're healthy and they give you the best option to win. You play them. You see it in baseball. You see it in the NFL. You see it in the NBA. They don't sit there and go, I don't want to hurt his little feelings. No. Oh, my God. And I'm not laughing. I'm not making fun of you, Wolfie. Kenny was targeted twice. I don't think he's going to look good until he gets a quarterback that can actually make more than one read. Yeah, I know. But listen, it's a win. It's a win. It's a win. It's a win. What do we got here? They're good against run last year, and Saquon ran all over them. Saquon, like I said, Saquon, man, he found the holes. He found the openings. He attacked the hole. He did what he did when his first 2 seasons. He did that. He did what he needed to do. And that's the way you have to look at it. Why else would they draft Wan'Dale? They drafted Wan'Dale as a redundancy to Kadarius Toney. I've said it a million times. And I also said the fact that Kadarius Toney better learn. And it was funny because T-Brad brought it up and I forgot all about it. When we did the live draft stream, when they drafted Wan'Dale Robinson, I said immediately, if Wan'Dale Robinson does not learn how to protect himself on the field, he is not going to get out of his first NFL game. And he went down with a knee injury because of the fact that he missed the defender behind. He didn't feel the defender behind him. And that's all part of protecting yourself on the field. Let's see here. Todd Taylor says, Tannehill outrunning RD was just sad. Yeah, he did have some big runs, but you know what? We got it. We got it. It's all good. He says, newsflash, rookie quarterback isn't going to make Galladay a link. And he needs some veteran quarterbacks like Stafford. Really? I'm going to say 4 words. 2 words. Burrows, and 3 words. Burrows and the Duck. How did they play when they were rookies? What does Todd says, yeah, you got trash talk Tenant fans for 4 years now. They're all fun of the Oilers while you're all good. Brandon Kenny, King Kong says, Brandon Jacobs came for live for Saquon Barkley. That was a good game. At least we can run the football. You know what? That's half the battle. You need to be able to run the football. And I said this before, you need to have a team that goes north to south, north and south, not east and west. And that's what happens with the Giants a lot. And that's what happens with their passing game. Their run game is going to be the catalyst. The run game is going to be the engine. The run game is going to get this team going. We're still only going to win like 3 to 5 games, but it doesn't matter. Today is the first win of the win. And I've said this before, you are going to win games in the NFL that you are not supposed to win. You are going to lose games in the NFL you're not supposed to lose. That's why I don't do season-long predictions, because of the fact that you have no idea when you're going to hit a hot team. You have no idea when you're going to have injuries. You just have no idea in general. So a win, like I said, a win is a win. Thank you for the big chat, my friend. Great win. How will our D-line match up to Carolina's O-line next week? Thank you for the super chat. My friend, all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. I don't know, to be honest, because I don't know if we're gonna be at full strength. Where's the F? Oh, I don't know where the magnet went. Thanks, honeypot. I don't know where the magnet went. I have to do everything the same now next week. Great, honeypot. You got me looking for a magnet. If we all right, if we're at a full complement of guys, I think we'll be all right. If we're at the same, it's going to be just like this week. But like I said, let's see how the injuries play out, and let's see if we get Ojulari back, and let's see if we get Thibodeau back as well. Oh, we got Irish Rover dropping in with the big super chat for the Philadelphia kids. Hey Tim, just a shout out to your stream. I think the Giants finally have a head coach and players look like they're having brought into the Dable system. Giants play with aggression. Nice to see. Go Giants. It was a good, like I said, it was a good aggressive game. It was a game that you are proud of at the end of the day to be a Giant fan, because it's a game we normally lose, that we would normally lose in the last 5 years. So, I mean, and a great appreciation to you, Mr. Irish Rover, because you're always hanging in the chat. You're always giving your insight. And like I said, I appreciate everyone that does have the opportunity to come in. I'm sitting on my flag. I'm sitting on my cape. Hey, the Giant. I got to do the Jim Craig from the Olympics with my Giant cape on. At the end of the day, like I said, I really do. I appreciate everyone's always in the chat, because everyone has got to hang out. It's just great. I love it. Let's see, great win. Some people are still not happy, even if we win. It's a win. It's a win. There was some good. You take the good, you take the bad, and there you go. You have it. It's the facts of life. It's a win. And we're going to take it like that. Jeffrey has to say, I feel you say, Saeed and Jeffrey said, quarterback of the future plus Barkley could be a nasty combo. I agree. Just imagine we have Malik Willis. Next matchup could be a close one. Nice schedule, helps no quarterback team. I worry about Carolina. I'm not going to get into the Carolina predictions yet. I'm not going to get into the game yet, because like I said, we're still celebrating tonight. But I do worry about Carolina. I worry about the letdown that the Giants usually have after a big win that's been going on since the 90s. I worry about that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're not gonna worry about that. Baker still throws the ball too low, hands up defense. He does throw the ball too low, but honestly, if Baker showed up in the first half, that's a different game. And they did win on a last second field goal. So I mean, that's, you gotta give Baker some credit. It would be great to have our pass rushers back next week. The Panthers have a rookie left tackle, had a tough time today. And that's what I'm saying. Do we get him back next week? I don't know. If we have, and like I said, we will do more of a prediction once we have a better idea who's going to be there next week, because I don't know. And besides, like I said, it's Sunday. I asked the guys what their thoughts were and what their predictions were for the game next week, only because I was curious, and just in case I didn't see them or talk to them before then. That's not going to happen. I'm always talking to them. So like I said, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Giants 2-0. But yeah, potentially it could happen. Potentially we could easily be looking at 2-0. Will it happen? Well, I don't know. But like I said, I want to see who is injured, who we get back, who comes in, and I kind of want to go from there. and then we can kind of move forward. How did I feel about Neil? I felt Neil played a good game. He played a rookie game. He gave up a sack. He made some mistakes, but he's a rookie. He is going to learn. It's going to be a learning process. It's going to be a maturation process. We've talked about this. We talked about this like a million times. It's going to be a process where we grow. I'm going to be at the game on Sunday with James Williams. We're going to be live streaming in the parking lot. And evidently I made the promise on the live stream that if I predicted the score and the Giants won, that I would wear my Giants cape and during the live streams and run around the parking lot wearing my Giants cape. Not doing laps. I'm just going to wear my giant cape and run around the parking lot. And actually, it's not a cape, it's a flag. Got it as a season ticket holder. So I'm going to wear my giant flag as a cape, and I'm going to run around the parking lot on Sunday at 10:30 in the morning. And we're going to live stream from the parking lot. I did make those I did make those promises. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by just to say what's up, Tim. It's a win. That's what's up. It's a win. We won. Did you see the game? Did you see it? We won. Thank you for the super chat. Super chat goes to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Where would you know what? And it's just you got to be happy about it. And thank you for coming. I do appreciate you stopping and saying, because I see a lot of people that were coming in. What up? Darius Slayton, Honeypot. He was inactive today. He was a healthy scratch for Darius Slayton. Matthew has to come in and say, first time participant that was going on between the seasons and Brevin seemed like a Judge Worst rotation. I did not like the rotating tackle. I did not like the rotating guards. I did not like that, Sam. I did not like that in a house. I did not like that with a mouse. I did not like that at all. And I think that could have potentially led to some of the woes. But like I said, you can't second guess anything right now because of the fact that you won the game. And like I said, it at the end of the day, it just says New York Giants, NFC East, 1-0. It doesn't say New York Giants, NFC East. They lost because they won because they missed a field goal. Because the Titans missed a field goal. Doesn't say that. I wish the Titan fans were here. I want to talk to them. Let's see. Frank says, "Okay, I missed it." Yeah, he was a healthy scratch. And we got to run out to the field in the fourth quarter with your cape on. No, I'm not running. Mazinga, I'm not running out to the cape. I am not running out. You're a first-time participant? I'm sorry.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I saw that and I didn't think about that, Matthew. I'm sorry about that. Welcome. But wait, Honeypot says, "How do you feel about Wink's Martindale call?" I think Wink called a game that he had to call. I think he got over aggressive at one point towards the end, which is when Tennessee scored that other touchdown. I think he went to the blitz a little too much. I think he probably should drop back into coverage, but I understand what he was doing. We've said this a million times before. When you have a weak secondary, the first thing that you try to do is you try to cover that up by generating a pass rush. So that's what I think it is. Oh, we got Mazinga said, drop it. Boom. 50 likes achieved. Thank you for reaching the 50 likes. I do appreciate that. Todd Taylor says, hey, the Cowboys once rotated their quarterbacks. They did. They did. I'm just happy we won. That's it. At the end of the day, like I said, it's no one's gonna tell you it was a bad win. There are such things as bad wins. There are such things as ugly wins. No one's going to say at the end of the day that this was a bad win. Well, some people might. I just love all the people that were on the giant bandwagon all through camp, but then game day came around and they were all like, well, we're probably going to lose. There was one man stepped up, looked danger in the eye, and said,
You can't keep me cooped up in here, okay? I am a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
The peacock went out. 21-17, I called. You got to give all the credit, though, to the Dable. Ballsy. You got to give all the credit in what that was. And like I said, if it would have went sour, we would have been talking about this like we did with Ron Rivera. After that giant one. What's up, Brock Barnes? What's going on, my friend? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Let's go. Todd says, better a bad win than a good loss. You're right. we're gonna throw that one also into the chat. It's better a bad win than a good loss, because there's no such thing as a good loss. There's no such thing, and there's no such thing as a bad win. Because you know what? You string a bunch of bad wins together, you got something going on. That's what we got to think about. Will Kenny G score Motorcycle 365? Will Kenny G score a touchdown this year? I said he was going to score a touchdown today. So, oh, Lord knows. GW says, you called it. I asked you if Saquon would have a breakout run for us, and you said, yeah, I forgot about that. I did say that too. I forgot about it. You know, it's funny. I forget about the thing. I talk a lot, not just on the show, but just in general. So sometimes I say things I don't even remember saying, but yes, I did say that on one of the streams. Yes, I did. I thought Saquon was going to have a breakout day today. I really did. I thought this defense was going to be at times over aggressive. And if they ran the ball repeatedly, that he was going to be able to take advantage of that as long as you ran north and south. And you're right. I forgot. Oh, forgot about that. I'm sending a garble thank you card for his play call. Yes. People also forget. I sent a thank you Christmas card to Ron Rivera for when he ran that play. Let's see. Which happens first? Tyrod's first start, or Kenny G's first touchdown? Oh, Lordy. I'm going Tyrod's first start. I had to think about that one. Rock Barnes says Saquon was getting into the defensive phase today. Did you like that? Oh, I did like it. I love it. But the thing is, I'm cocky and arrogant. And when I played, and when just in general, I was a trash talker. Still am. You talk shit, you know what? You get into people's faces. And sometimes when you get into their faces, you get into their heads. So I'm okay with that. Let's see here. I'm going to say, why do you think they didn't use Tony more? Because I think that they felt that Richie James gave them a better option to play, to win, to get on the field and just be competitive. I still think, and for everyone that loves Kadarius Toney so much, he's still not a quality route runner. And a lot of times, especially in Dable/Kafka's offense, you need to be somewhat of a proficient route runner. Especially since the fact that you have the flexibility, kind of like Kevin Gilbright's offense, this is very similar. You have the flexibility as a wide receiver to change your route. So you have to have the simpatico relationship with the quarterback. And I just don't think Daniel Jones and Kadarius Toney's there. And I've said it before, you wouldn't have drafted Wan'Dale Robinson if you didn't think Kadarius Toney was the man. It was a good win, guys. It was a fun win. It was a good game to watch. Well, it wasn't a good game. If you want to be honest about it, it wasn't really a good game to watch. But it was a good game to watch if you were a Giant fan. You gotta give credit to the coaching staff. You gotta give credit to the team. You gotta give credit to like I said, this was truly a Saquon Barkley win. You had Daniel Jones trying to snatch victory or snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. And that's kind of what we were looking at here today. And if it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, we wouldn't be in this position. We would not even be having this conversation, because the passing offense was putrid. If we're gonna be honest, it was putrid. You throw for 188 yards and 65. It came on one play. It is what it is. But if you can run the ball, and you can run the ball effectively and competitively and move the chains and get the big pop, then good things are going to happen. And like I said before, this is going to be one of the only this was truly one of the best times that you are going to be able to see the Giants secondary match up against a wide receiver core where we don't have an advantage, but it's a push. And we're not going to get many of these. We're not going to get many of these. This is a paper lion in some regards in reference to the secondary in today's game. But like I said, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I even said that I think Tennessee was going to come out rusty because they'd never played any of the starters in the preseason. And I hearkened back to about 3 years ago or 2 years ago when the Bears played no one in the preseason. They didn't even play second teamers. They played and they were slated to go to the playoffs, and they started the season 1-6. They ended up in the playoffs, but it was to their detriment that this happened. What the blank happened to the Cards? Didn't watch the game. They're a paper lion. And I'm not talking about the George Blimpton book, but that's what this team, that's what the secondary is. I don't know what happened to the Cardinals game because I didn't see the Cardinals game, to be honest. I got Sunday tickets, but I never changed it. Once the Giants, the Cardinals got blown out 44-21 by Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes was 30 for 39 for 360, 5 touchdowns. Kyler Murray was still okay, 22 for 34 for 193, 2 touchdowns. They ran for another 5 times for 29 yards. Not a good game. Not a great game. He only averaged 5.7. He actually had a bad game. He looks like he had a bad game. It happens. It happens at the end of the day. I can't wait to feast on Baker next week. I hope Kyler. I don't think Kyler's trash. I think Kyler's a good quarterback. The big question is, and I'm going to leave it here a few seconds. The big question is, how many Saquon Barkley's jerseys do we think? Why do I keep doing this? How many Saquon Barkley jerseys do you think are going to be at the game on Sunday? I'm gonna say more than a quarter of the jerseys are going to be 26s. That's what I'm predicting that right now. And we all know I'm the cult leader, and I'm omnipotent. Oh wait, I should be the cult leader. Come here, the young Skywalker. Oh wait, that's not the cult. That's the Emperor. I'm just giddy. Just giddy for the win. Let's see here. Let's give a couple of last comments. Tuna look better than him. What else is? And that's not saying much. Did Barkley just up his trade value or secure himself for the future here? It's one game. It's one game. It is a microcosm in time. I'm Giants Palpatine. I don't know who a Palpatine is. My son's in the Star Wars. I don't. He watches all the TV shows and all the shows, but I don't know which one Palpatine is. I watched the Obi-Wan and the Mandalorian in Boba Fett. I think it was Book of Boba Fett. That was good. And I finished Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai Season 5 was really good. Let's see here. Matthew says, how good of a game did Wink call? He really made a lot of calls out of a little. Did blitz less than I think. He blitzed. He had to, because when he did have the opportunity to blitz and he did go after the quarterback, he got burned. So last one says, Vincent says, get to see from me. His stats look pretty good. His stats look terrible. 1 for 88 and 65 came in one play at times. And the pick was terrible. And also the fumble. I don't blame him on the fumble. Hopefully he plays much better next week. Let's go Giants. Is what it is. He's not going to, no matter what he does, he's not going to be back next year. You got $50 million in cap space. You push money from Leonard Williams into 2023 and 2024. You got Shane going out and already scouting quarterbacks. He's not going to be back. Right? The writing's on the wall. He's just not going to be back. Cobra Kai rocked. Cobra Kai. I am not going to spoil it for anyone, but the whole Mike Barnes story, even though he isn't in it for an extended period of time, was pretty awesome. And the ending itself, the last episode, and I just finished the last episode when I was working out the other day. It was great. It was great. It was a fun watch. And it's like Daniel Jones, the maturation of Johnny Lawrence is something to behold. Oh, and the Johnny Lawrence scene at the end. I'm not gonna say anything, but the Johnny Lawrence scene at the end was just out there. I mean, it was Johnny Lawrence with Chosen and everything else. It was just crazy. It was crazy. It was a really good, I hate the fact that they put all the episodes out at once because you do the whole binge thing, but I hate the fact that they do that. because then I'm stuck watching them, and then I'm trying to I'm waiting, I'm waiting in the line to, at school to pick up people, pick up kids, and I got it on, I got it downloaded to my phone. I'm watching it in the gym. So Ralph was what's his face is now turning. I know Ralph Macchio is like 60 years old now. It's crazy. It's crazy. Daniel LaRusso is that old. Thank God I'm young. It was that great point. It was 80s nostalgia on steroids. That's what you have to look at it. Giants and Yanks win on 9/11. Yeah, it is. We do have to give a more than a moment of respect, but we do need to give respect to 9/11. I think some people forgot, because it is NFL Sunday. And it is a moment. It's more than a moment to pause and moment to reflect for the people that were lost on that, on that day. I never talk about it, but I was in a place between William and Pearl when all that happened. So and I lost two friends. But I really don't want to talk about that right now because it's a giant win. We're moving forward. We're moving on. We're doing what needs to be done. And on that note, we are going to sit here and we are going to close it out the right way. Hello, everyone. This is Tim of the Olympic Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giant Sports Talk and Tip. Look out for that Monday video. Monday morning is probably about 10:30. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. You know what? We got Carolina coming up next week, and we're gonna do a bunch of stuff with that. And you know what? We are out of here.